Today I'm in the Naval and Military Club in Hutt Street in Adelaide, and I have the pleasure of interviewing Blue Stevens, a member of the 2nd 3rd Machine Gun Battalion, and we'll briefly cover his experiences in the Middle East, Syria, and his movement to Java with the 2nd 3rd Machine Gunners, his capture on Java, his movement to the Burma-Thailand Railway, and ultimately his movement to Japan. So we'll now pause and hear from Blue in his own words. Blue, thank you very much for agreeing to do the interview. And if you could just summarise originally your enlistment and going to the Middle East with the 2nd 3rd Battalion, Machine Gun Battalion, and arriving in Usthaven in Sumatra.
After the Middle East campaign, yes, we're on our way, as we thought, going to Singapore, and suddenly we veered south. I thought, oh, we're going home. But they had other ideas. They pulled into Usthaven, and by the time we offloaded, because it was a small wharf, too shallow for the rocketies to pull in, so we came ashore, or came up to the wharf in a lighter, started to disembark, and an English officer came down and said, it's hopeless. He said the Japs had occupied the Palembang aerodrome. And so we got back on the lighter, those of us that disembarked. And the next problem was with the Orchidees still out there because it was dark, no navigation lights. And I could have brought that cutting with me. A sudden flash of lightning illuminated the place, and the Orchidees must have seen it.
Keep talking.
And that waited for us, and we came back on board, 2,000 of us. And as we came aboard through the little gangway down just above the waterline, we were handed a cup of cocoa and a biscuit. And of course we finished up in Tanjung Priok and went into action in only a few days, and the Dutch capitulated, and we were surrounded just on our own, because the other ship with our guns, our trucks and everything, that finished up in Port Adelaide. And we
Now you had the second Pioneers there with you as well, didn't you?
That's right.
Yes.
The second Pioneer.
Now, have you got any idea in the short battle that you were engaged with the Japanese? Do you know how many men from the 2nd 3rd were killed in that period? Were there many?
No, I don't think there was any killed in that.
Yes.
Simple reason, we were surrounded, but we had very little armament, just out of the ship's armoury off the Orchidees. Just a matter of interest, I have a beautiful ashtray of the Orchidees. I picked it up at a op shop in Victor Harbour.
Yeah. Lovely. Now, you became prisoners of war on the 12th of March 1942, and then later in the year, which camps were you in until the time that you moved to the Burma-Thailand Railway?
Oh, well, we were in school buildings, Lailes and Kharut, which was just out of Buitenzorg.
Mm.
A very interesting thing there. We had to surrender any revolvers and such like, but if you had a hunting knife or something in your hand, they wouldn't see that. They were tunnel vision, I think.
Yes, yeah. Now, in your unit, Ted Lynham was your commanding officer?
Yes, he was Victorian, if I remember rightly.
I think you're right, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And you had, it was a Griner, was he one of your officers? Heck Griner?
Heck Griner, yes.
Mm. And the fellow who became a judge in Victoria was
Did
one,
he?
no, there was one of your officers who became a judge in Victoria.
Oh.
I think that I'm right. Anyway, it doesn't matter, that's fine.
Yeah.
But who was your doctor that who was with you when you were captured?
Who was my doctor?
Was it Tim Godley or?
I can't recall any doctor then.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Was Ron, is it Adamson? Adamson?
No.
Rod Anderson, the warrant officer?
No, no.
Allinson then? Allinson, was it?
Rod Allinson.
Yeah.
Rod Allinson, he was Victorian, I think.
Yes, and he was an ASIO officer after the war.
He was...
He was in the ASIO,
Oh,
the
I see.
intelligence service after the war.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice chap.
Mm.
Yeah.
Now,
He was a very tall man, if I remember rightly.
yeah.
Yeah.
And what was your physical condition like during this 8 months till you were moved out of Java?
Well, not too bad. I thought I was going to lose my life at one stage. That was at Makasura. We had to go out collecting. This was where I climbed the palm at night and unscrewed the coconuts.
Mm.
And we had two-wielded wire frame gadget with a couple of bogey wheels in the centre, two wheels in the centre and bogey wheels on the end. And we had to go out getting firewood. And of course, I had learned a little bit of the language, and so I scrounged some gear and I buried it in the timber, but I think the Jap guard must have smelt it because it came up and Kuro, and I thought, gee whiz, I'm going to get it. And as fast as he's bellowing at me, I'm unloading it and putting it back. And I said, that, meaning that the native that was in charge of the place, he didn't see me. And of course I'm belting away from him,
Yes.
from the chap. I thought, well, I never got.
Now, do you remember when you left Java to go, well, you probably didn't know where you were going, but you went to Singapore.
Yeah.
Do you remember the name of the vessel you went across to Singapore on?
No, I didn't know that one. I have very faint memories of that one. But I can remember the other one that we went to when we were brought back after the line was built.
Yeah.
We were brought back to Singapore, and that was well, we called it the Bioki Maru.
Yeah.
Because the back was broken of the ship. The steerage, not steerage, had been blown away, and they had a...
Well, the bridge was gone.
A bridge, that was it.
Mm.
And they had a pillbox towards the end of the ship, and the buckle plates were over the coal bunkers.
Now let's just backtrack. I know you're going. That's when you're taking us to Japan, but can we go back to when you're going up to the Burma-Thailand Railway?
Yeah.
And you've gone from gone to Singapore, and you were there for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, in River Valley Road camp.
Camp, yeah.
Well, it wasn't a camp, it was actually a marketplace.
Yes.
And these little go-downs, open-sided, and that were in those.
Mm.
I think we were there for about 10 days. I'm not quite sure of that.
Yes. And
but,
then...
because we'd only been there for a short while, we never got the chance to do any scrounging.
No.
Yeah.
Did you have any HMAS Perth survivors with you at this stage?
Yes, Bogey Knight, Ray Parkin, he'd done some beautiful paintings up in the line there. He had a little sandy area on the edge of the river, and the beautiful butterflies had come in there for moisture because it was just wet sand, and he'd capture these butterflies and draw them. How he got his colours, I don't know. Yes.
So when you went up to the Burma-Thailand Railway in about January 1943?
Yes. Yes, that would be about right.
Now when you came up on the train
yeah, I think that took us about 10 days.
And you got to Ban Pong?
Ban Pong, yes, yes.
Now how did you move from Ban Pong when you went further up the line?
I think that was mainly walking.
Was it? You didn't go by truck?
No, no, I think we got to Ban Pong, pardon me, that took us about 10 days.
See, Weary Dunlop says that he went up by truck. About a lot of men crammed onto the back of the truck.
That's right, yeah.
But then you must have crossed a river. Do you remember crossing a river at all?
No.
All right.
I can't recall. No, I have no recollection.
No, but you must have marched some of the distance.
Oh yes.
And do you remember? Did you remember going into the Konyu camps or the Hintop Road camp?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now.
Konyu and the Hintop Road camp, we called it, and Hintop River camp.
Yeah.
An interesting pointer there. When we first started out, we had our little, what we called a survey party.
Yes.
Surveying the line.
Yep.
And doing a bit of pegging. And this particular place, there was a, what do you call it? King Cobra.
Oh yes.
See? And by then we found out that Ula was the word for snake, see?
Yeah.
Ula! The Japs disappeared.
Yes.
They shot through.
Yeah.
We weren't to be outdone. The machete on a piece of bamboo pipe, and you had two V-shaped points. So speared the king cobra, scun it, put it on the fire to eat it. Oh, it was so powerful you couldn't eat it.
I think Red Sheedy told me something about that, about the cobra. Now, what work did you do when you were in that area?
Well, I was on